To ban or not to ban smartphones in schools? That has been the question for some time now. Everyone knows that smartphones can hurt children, their mental health, their physical health, their ability to focus. So nation after nation wants to limit their phone use. The world over, nearly 80 countries, 80, have policies about smartphones in schools. Some have national bans, some have statewide bans, some schools allow phones as long as there is parental consent, or the devices are kept inside lockers or handed over during class. So there is no clarity on how phones should be banned. But there are very firm opinions. And usually this means no phones, not in class, not in the corridors, and often not even during break times, except it doesn't work. Whether you ban phones in classrooms or police their use in canteens, phone bans in schools apparently just do not work. They do not improve grades, they do not improve well-being, they do not affect classroom behavior, they do not change sleep patterns, they do not make children exercise more, and they certainly do not change the overall time that children spend on phones. Ouch, right? But don't shoot the messenger. I'm not the one saying all of this, a new study is. This is the first of its kind, and it says that when you look at schools that ban phones and those that don't, there is no difference in outcome for all these metrics. Grades, well-being, health, and so on, it is the same. Basically, restricting phone use in schools does not help, and yet phones can be bad for children. The study says this as well. Like the stack of research that came before it. Spending a lot of time on phones can hinder children's sleep, promote the lack of exercise, mount social pressure, fuel privacy concerns, sexual harassment, lower students' grades, plus phones are dangerously distracting. Even the notifications on phones kept away from students can disrupt focus. Study after study has shown this. And we know it already. Phones can be all-consuming. They're designed to be addictive, with bottomless scrolling and continuous notifications. But simply banning them in school does not change the scenario. It will not make children go back in time. They will just spend a lot of time on phones elsewhere, not in school. Look around the next time you're out. You will find their eyes glued to mobile phones at home, and you will see them crossing the street with their eyes on the screens. Because nowadays, children's addiction to phones often begins long before they have started school. And by the age of 14, 96% children have their own phone in the UK. In the US, 42% of them have it. In India, the number stands at 27%, and it is the same for China. Smartphones are a part of life. Yes, they're harmful, but you can't ignore their benefits either. They help children keep in touch with parents. They help children stay safe while traveling. They allow children to navigate directions, book transport, order food, connect with friends, study, explore, get creative. So there are two sides to this story. And with the world we live in, you cannot wish phones away with one ban. So if adults are actually going to tackle the harms of mobile phones, they should just do that, tackle the harms, both in school and outside. Bring in better policies, better protect the privacy of children, curb harmful content on social media, set usage limits, understand how children can spend less time on their phones, promote exercise in school, and don't just police children, involve them. Talk to them, educate them. Smartphone bans in schools are the low-hanging fruit. They're working in isolation, and they're not working really. They're not getting the job done. So about time, the adults do a better job at figuring out what will. We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir we're on our way to Tel Aviv. Pretty measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sheryl Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
We were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote effort. Trump hat, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 4.3 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.